Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's time for the aftermath where I will be reviewing Liverpool 2, West Ham United 1 at Anfield. As you can see, I'm in my Halloween costume for this year. I've gone as a Scotsman complete with the kilt. That's why I'm dressed up like this for the video. I'm going to talk about the game and talk about how I feel. Let me get it off my back first, actually. There's no shame, I think, in losing by 1 goal to the champions, and West Ham didn't even play that terribly. I just think a few little blips and a few little things needed tightening in that game for West Ham to really get a draw. But I wasn't too disappointed with the performance, and the good thing is here, we now have a good squad. I think we can see that, and Moyes does kind of know his best 11. He just needs to tweak it a little bit. But there's no shame in losing to Liverpool because they are such an excellent side. And like I say, we only lost by 1 goal. Starting lineup for West Ham saw one major change, and it was the change a lot of West Ham fans were hoping for. Sebastian Haller was starting in place of the injured Michail Antonio. This game was going to be a real test for Haller, and he was playing on Haller-Ween night. So let's hope he didn't get any scares, is what we were all thinking. Other than that, it was still pretty much the same team, same players. Haller was in, and like I say, he was going to be tested. Benrahma was on the bench, and I was hoping that he'd come on some point in the second half. It was looking really good from David Moyes. Fornals and Haller started up together, and I was a little bit apprehensive about that. I was thinking, well, those two don't often work well together, but later events in the game showed why I was wrong to say that. I thought the opening 10 minutes were pretty good from West Ham. Declan Rice in particular was looking good. He was clearing a lot of balls and making interceptions. Liverpool's top three weren't doing a hell of a lot in the opening 10 minutes. West Ham looked quite solid defensively. Sopal and Masuaku did in particular. Ogbonna made a few clearances. And that was looking pretty good, stopping Liverpool and going back the other way. And talking of going back the other way, West Ham managed to get their first goal by doing just that. Joe Gomez tried to clear the ball away from a fairly crowded box. It went into the path of Pablo Fornals, who was in the area. He took the time to compose himself, control the ball, fire it past Alisson, went in off the post for 1-0 West Ham. Fornals scored against Liverpool in February. He seems to like scoring at Anfield a lot. And I took back my comment, saying that he shouldn't have started with Haller. Fornals got the goal. And it was nice to see him actually take a chance, because recently Fornals has had this habit of missing good chances in games. He took it today and it gave West Ham a good lead. I was really happy with that. My one major concern in the first half was a chance with Sadio Mane. Our defence let him have so much room to run, so much room to get in, and thankfully a few little blunders and a few bobbles of the ball meant that we were able to clear it. Talking of defensive problems, Lucas Fabianski nearly cost West Ham the game a few times in the first half. His decision-making looked a little bit off. He was coming for balls, sometimes spilling them, but eventually getting them in the end. But having said that, he was being a little bit awkward, a little bit indecisive. And I was thinking to myself, Lucas, you need to tighten up. You need to get some control. Then came the penalty incident. And I looked at this even before the replays were shown, and I thought that this was very soft. Yes, Masuaku is making contact on Salah, but Salah just goes down so easily and is a bit overdramatic about the whole thing. I mean, it was a very soft tackle. There was no real malicious intent from Masuaku. But Salah went down, penalty's given. Salah takes it, and he scores it. It's 1-1 at half-time. A little bit disheartening that West Ham weren't winning the game at this point, but it was still looking very good. All the signs were looking fairly positive. Defensively, the team looked good, and West Ham looked good going forward. Need a little bit of work in the second half, maybe with some defensive concentration, but I couldn't complain. The second half was a bit of a different story. It started off with Liverpool putting in a lot of crosses and having more possession of the ball, and West Ham putting in crosses but nobody meeting them. Not even Sebastian Haller was there. And I'm telling you now, he came as a ghost for Halloween because he did absolutely nothing and was non-existent all game. I said it would be a test for him to prove his worth. He failed that test. He did nothing all game, and particularly not in the second half. I didn't even know he was on the field because he wasn't even getting balls. The only good thing really was that West Ham still, for the most part, kept themselves grounded defensively. Declan Rice and Souček, Sofal, having a good second half. Yes, Liverpool opened up a little bit, but West Ham still stood quite firm and resilient. With 20 minutes left in the game, Liverpool made a double change. Shaqiri and Jota came on, and off came Firmino and Curtis Jones. This was a good thing for Klopp to do. He got the substitutes on with 20 minutes left and let them blend into the game. Let them see how the game was going and then get them to make an impact. Jota nearly did it. He thought he'd scored, but a VAR check confirmed different. It confirmed that there was a foul in the build-up to the play. He had brought down Angelo Ogbonna just before he was about to strike the ball past Fabianski. So it remained 1-1. I will touch on the build-up to the disallowed goal. Bad defending from West Ham. Too much space. Jota was allowed to run in. And that was something that West Ham need to cut out. Bad defending and letting players run into space. It happens way too often. And I thought we'd stop that in the last few games, but it came up again here. Anyway, 1-1, still kind of in with the shout. Or so we thought. Because the second goal, this time, countered. And it was bad defending yet again. Balbuena gets megged. Shaqiri's through ball goes through Balbuena's legs. Jota's onside and he shoots and scores. It's 2-1 to Liverpool. It looks like it's going to be 3-1. I just thought that it was going to be 3-1 at that rate because of how Liverpool had blended into that game, grown in that second half, and had made more of an impact than West Ham. Liverpool had about 75% worth of possession as well. They were making it count. Moyes finally made a double change with 2 minutes left of regulation. Great. He put on Lanzini and Benrahma at the very last minute, and they couldn't make much of an impact. Full-time whistle went. It finished Liverpool 2, West Ham 1. And honestly, I've seen a lot of negativity on Twitter